All right. So, my project was about the Freedom Convoy in Canada. Uh, so it was like several groups of like transport trucks that form convoys along the highways. Transport trucks are pretty big, so that took up a lot of room. It was pissing a lot of people off. Cross Driving across Canada with the main destination being the capital city of Ottawa. They would set up groups of blockades set in place by what were truckers, but like most people are just anti-vaccine supporters and whatnot, protesting the COVID mandates. Mainly the vaccine rules set in place at the time, being as such, like when I wanted to go into a restaurant, I'd have to show my ID and my proof of vaccination before I could go sit down in a restaurant and eat. Or basically anywhere I wanted to go, I'd have to show proof of vaccination anywhere in Canada. I don't know if it was the same out west, but that's how it was from the East Coast at least. What they were doing, they were blocking off key bridges connecting the US and Canada between Ontario, Michigan, and Alberta and Montana, used for the transport of goods between the nations. Roughly 8,000 people participated in these protests, and blockade was set around Parliament Hill with a rally in front of the Parliament building, doing their protest. So I guess that part didn't say. The Freedom Convoy was immediately condemned by like the Truckers Union or whatever it's called. This person right here is the person who started their GoFundMe to like raise money for gas. Raised almost $5 million in the first couple of days of creation of the GoFundMe account, and then towards the end, they raised almost $10 million through 120,000 donors. She was later taken into police custody during the fall of the convoy when police started arresting people, but charges are still unknown at the time. Economic loss, with the way they were blocking off the bridges, making so things couldn't get places, costing the auto industry alone almost $1 billion due to the estimated $1.4 million worth of vehicles and parts flowing between the countries every day. And then overall economic loss was estimated roughly $6 billion. I know over on the East Coast, like we get a lot of our stuff transported through Ottawa, Ontario, and then it comes our way. So back when I was home for spring break, a lot of our stuff was empty. Like our stores were getting really bare and stuff before this all ended. So we were having a hard time getting stuff transported to our grocery stores. And then other stores started marking up their prices when they realized that some stores didn't have stuff they did, which was really frustrating. When they started to end the blockades, like the streets of Ottawa and key bridges finally cleared on the 21st for the first time since mid-January when it started, because police forces would use pepper spray to disperse crowds so they could safely tow vehicles away, because if not, they were just gonna run into a bunch of people that they probably would have ran over and killed. So they had to get rid of the people before they could move the vehicles, and people are really annoying. So yeah, those are my sources. I didn't have a whole lot to say. I probably should have gone second, but yeah, those were my sources. Anyone got anything? Yeah, Curtis.
Alright, so when they like raise like $10 million, where does that money go to?
Basically just dispersed between everyone that was driving across Canada, because gas is really expensive. I know it's getting upwards of $2 a liter back home, which was like $8 a gallon, give or take, maybe 10, depending on conversion. I don't know the exact math, but yeah. Yep.
Do you have an opinion on the movement or the methods?
Personally, it was kind of a piss off, because like I tried to go get groceries and half the stuff I was going to get. Like at the time, my girlfriend and her family had COVID, so I was going to get them groceries, and like half the stuff they wanted wasn't there. And I got into a car accident that day, so I was kind of pissed off anyway. So yeah, it was frustrating. I mean, like obviously you have a right to protest, but when your right to protest comes by blocking off other people's freedom, they probably shouldn't. I don't feel like that should be allowed. Like obviously, like rallies alright in front of Parliament, that happens all the time, but like when you're blocking off bridges so that people can't get things they need, when you start impeding other people's ability to get places without being stopped and whatnot. Like my mom was caught up between a whole bunch of trucks that were driving towards the capital city on her way back from work one day on the highways. So personally, I don't feel like they should be blocking off other people. So yeah.
Do you think it's right for the government to force store owners to show, like, have you show them proof of vaccination?
I mean, it was kind of annoying, and it's like a stop up. Like I know there, and like when we were in malls, you wouldn't have to show it when you were going into stores, but if you sat down to eat, there would be like they blocked off all of their exits into the food courts. So you'd have to like show your proof of vaccination to sit down. But if you were just getting your food to go and leaving, there was no issue. So like it was kind of a piss off thing. So you'd sit in like a line of like 15 people, and by the time you get to sit down, your food's almost cold, and it's kind of annoying. So there's just one security guard that really doesn't care, and it just takes a while. So like, personally, I found it annoying, but like, kind of like I understood what was going on. It was annoying, but like, whatever. I just kind of went with what they were telling me to do. Yeah.
You know how dire COVID is over in Canada? Is this using the methods are called for?
I mean, in some places it was really bad. Like I know Ontario was pretty bad. I don't know about the West just because I don't read the news. I know back home, like we're fine now. We're totally open like it used to be before COVID even happened. Like we're totally back to normal. Like some stores, it's basically left up to them if they want to keep their mandates, they can. But like schools, like kids are all sitting beside each other, no masks anymore. It's full days. Everyone's going together now. So honestly, it worked. So I don't. Yeah. Anyone else? No. Cool.